Hello, fellow peasants. Today we're going to be talking about the best 4K transfers in my collection. All right, guys, let's get into it. We're talking about the best 4K transfers that I have in my collection. And because I can't remember all 15 of these off the top of my head, 15 if you include, one of these is like a trilogy or whatever. I can't remember that shit off the top of my head. So I got a list right here. So that's right, I'm reading off a list. That's right. All right, guys, number 1 is Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, this was a major upgrade from the previous Blu-ray. Fantastic to look at. The detail here, the color grading, the uptick in detail is massive from the standard Blu-ray. Cleaned up very well, but not scrubbed. This is a very grainy film, a dark film, but not scrubbed. Paramount did a fantastic job on this. This is one of the best 4K transfers I've seen. The HDR looks great. Nice little punch and color, but not too much. Still maintaining that not so much desaturated look, but just that monotone look that the film has. Not monotone. I don't know the fucking term I'm looking for, but they didn't overdo the HDR. It doesn't look like Willy Wonka when you watch this goddamn movie. Okay. Next, the Amityville Horror from 88 Films. That's the transfer that I got. I didn't get Vinegar Syndrome. I got the 88 Films. It looks fantastic. It looks very good. The standard Blu-ray already looked great that I had, but I wanted to upgrade because I'm like, if the standard Blu-ray looks this damn good, what's the 4K look like? And the 4K looks fantastic. The uptick in detail is noticeable. The HDR looks very good, especially the daytime scenes with the fall foliage and stuff like that. And so I can't complain. I think it's a fantastic transfer, and yeah. Next, A Nightmare on Elm Street. This is a recent release. I just got this back in November, I think. And yeah, I think it looks great. The standard Blu-ray already looked fine. Did I need to upgrade to this? Probably not, but I think it looks great, man. It's super clear. There might have been some DNR applied here and there, but overall, the film looks great. Great facial details. HDR really pops, especially Freddy's sweater, the fire at the end of the film, when Nancy's running through the house and things like that. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Next, Black Christmas, the original Black Christmas from 1974. The contrast here is great. The black levels, the image stability, the uptick in detail is not that much more noticeable, but it's really the HDR here and the image stability, because the previous Blu-ray that I had, the black levels were very washed out, the kind of grayish looking, and the image would kind of, flicker, jump up and down a bit. And all that's corrected here. So I really like the Black Christmas 4K. Next, The Mummy, the original Mummy from not the original, but you know what I mean, like the 1999 Brendan Fraser. The Mummy, awesome release. This blows the Blu-ray out of the park. And keep in mind, guys, if you're wondering, well, you're not talking about audio. This is only to do with resolution and HDR. I'm not an audio guy, so I'm not going to talk about audio on here. Visually, this film looks fantastic. Blows the regular DVD and Blu-rays away. The uptick in detail is phenomenal here. The HDR grading, just the warmth of the image, because this film is shot out in the desert. You're down in tombs. You've got torches lit. It's a very nice, warm picture. The fire in the film looks great. The HDR on the torches and how it lights up the catacomb walls and things like that. Looks great. Next, The Thing. The Thing on 4K is an awesome transfer. Very nice looking. Better than the original Blu-ray that I had for sure. I can't speak how much better it looks than some of the more recent Blu-rays. But I will say this, in terms of resolution, it blows the 2007 Blu-ray I had out of the water. And I think the color grading on this is better than the previous Blu-rays. Even the most current Blu-rays, I think this color grading is the best. So even though it might not be that much of an uptick in resolution from the previous Blu-rays, or the most recent Blu-rays, it definitely, in terms of color and resolution, beats the fuck out of my 2007 Blu-ray, okay? Next, The Shining. That's right, The Shining. This is one of the first 4Ks that I ever bought back in like 2019 or something. And amazing uptick in detail from the standard Blu-ray. The color here is awesome. Danny's ball isn't pink anymore. I don't know what the hell was going on with Danny's tennis ball being pink, but it's not pink anymore. So it looks great. The detail and just facial features, the details and the interiors of the Overlook Hotel look great. The opening shot, you can tell right from the opening shot that the restoration is fantastic because of the helicopter scene, or the shots from the helicopter of them traveling, the car traveling around the mountains and things like that. So much more detail in the pine trees and the mountain faces, like the rocks and things like that in the mountains in the opening scene. Just awesome, just awesome. Next, The Patriot. The Patriot, man. I mean, this is I had never even seen the film before. This is, I can't compare this to anything else, like a Blu-ray or anything. But I'll tell you right now, it looks damn good. Looks damn good. The detail in the foliage, the detail on the outfits, the HDR when it comes to like the red coats pop in this film. Sunlight looks really good, like daytime scenes where they're out in the cornfields and everything. Just, it's a beautiful image. It's a wonderful transfer. If you haven't seen The Patriot, I highly recommend watching The Patriot. And also upgrading to this, or just buying this 4K in general, because it is a fantastic, fantastic transfer. Next, Tenebrae. That's right, Tenebrae. Dario Argento's Tenebrae. I'm a newcomer to the Tenebrae film. I never saw it before. I bought it back over the summer, early fall of last year. And not only is the film awesome, I really like Tenebrae, but the 4K transfer here is excellent. I think it's Synapse Films that I got Synapse Films is who I got the transfer from. And it's crystal clear. The HDR pops here. The resolution is nice. It's not a major uptick in visual quality. Like the detail here is not massive over the standard Blu-ray, but it is a decent size uptick in detail, and the HDR here pops, but without going too far. The Scream trilogy, man, all three of these look great. I've owned these on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and now I have all the original trilogy on 4K. I own the fourth film too on Blu-ray, and I'm going to be reviewing that here soon in a couple days. Maybe tomorrow, I don't know. But I'm really only a fan of the first three films. I'm a big fan of the original trilogy. I'm kind of like how Star Wars people are, they're like, only the first three movies matter, type of people. And I'm kind of that way with the Scream franchise. I only really care about the first three films. And they look fantastic on here. I mean, the uptick in detail. I mean, the original Blu-rays, man, like the Blu-ray set I had before this, everything was just like, it just had over sharpening done. Like it was really bad. So I'm just glad that they went and did these justice, and they look fantastic. I can't say much more than that. They look amazing. Next, Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd. I have seen Sweeney Todd tons and tons and tons of times. I've owned it on DVD. Never owned it on Blu-ray. I can't compare it to Blu-ray. But I will say the image is nice. The black levels here are great. They boosted the bluish, grayish look of the film, but without going too far. My fear when I watched this was, I'm like, oh my God, are they going to take the pale grayish blue look and just pump up the blue, like make it look really blue? And they didn't do it. Thank God. Not everything looks like it's bathed in like blueberries or something. Like it looks great, guys. It's a great transfer. I highly recommend, if you like Sweeney Todd, to go get the 4K. It looks really good. Misery on 4K. Great. I've only seen the film once. I bought it on 4K, watched it once on 4K. That was my only viewing of it. And to be honest, I haven't watched the 4K since then. I've only watched it one time, but I remember being like, wow, this is freaking an amazing transfer, because the clarity in the white, like the highlights in the snow, like everything looks great. Like the whites in the snow aren't blown out. The highlights look very nice. The detail and everything, from the pine trees to the wood grain in the homes. Because this is shot out in the woods, also shot mostly in also in her house, because she like traps him in her house. And so you see details in there that just are, I mean, like just like fine little details in her house, like the doilies on the dinner table and things like that. Just little knickknacks laying around the house, and just a beautiful transfer, just crystal clear image. Like I don't think they could have done a better job. And then finally, The Substance. I just reviewed this last week or week before, whenever. I don't think it's a perfect transfer or anything, but I do think the resolution is fantastic here. The details are excellent, and the HDR on it is very, very good, but not perfect. It is a bit dimmer than the SDR for this film, and I actually prefer the SDR image on this film, but the HDR is not bad. It's very, very good. It's just, this could have been a perfect transfer if the HDR could have matched the quality of the details. So, but that's it, guys. Those are the best 4Ks that I have in my collection, in my opinion. I've got like 60, 70 4Ks. Here I listed about, if you count the Scream trilogy, there's about 15 here. So I just picked the creme de la creme. I just wanted to pick the ones that I know stood out to me when I watched them. Like, wow, okay, like this was definitely worth the upgrade. This blew me away. So that's the ones I wanted to share with you guys. Let me know down in the comments below which one of these you really agree with, that you also have, or maybe some ones you have in your collection that I don't have, that have blown you away. Let me know which ones have blown you away that you have in your collection. All right, guys, that's it. Peace out, peasants. Bye-bye.